Hey guys, it's MongolianMindset, and we have a loyal member with us today, and we'll be helping him find his personality type. You don't have to go into anything you're not comfortable with, man, but what you do say we will use to find your best fit type. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so hello to you both. My name is Mantis. I am originally from the Middle East. I grew up there, lived there for most of my life, but now I'm in the UK for studies. Um, got into typology about a year ago, I think. Obviously, I was one of them that took the test, and then I kind of started watching YouTube videos, and then the videos got more and more detailed. Um, and I was like, okay, maybe there's something here. So I started doing a bit more research. I got into the some some servers as well, talking to people.
Hmm.
Most people are very nice in the community, which is good. Um, so yeah.
Okay, man. What are things you like about typology and things you hate?
Um, Things I like. I think it puts to words things that people don't usually think about.
Hmm.
Um, and I think for me personally, my experience, it helped me be a bit more open to people's thinking and how different kinds of minds work, I guess. Things I hate is uh, I think there is a tendency for people to overdo it. Like everything in their life becomes a typology from people I've spoken to,
Hmm.
and it's like being a good human. I think transcends it all. Really, obviously, there's gonna be a baseline of all the functions and whatnot, but like
Hmm.
you know, you can be a good human without all the without caring about all the technical stuff.
Hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I mean, I do think a lot of times people overexpress like what typology is, and they try to make
Mm,
everything backed up by typology, which I don't think is true,
exactly.
because the human psyche is very adaptive.
Mm, yeah,
Very adaptive.
yeah.
That's the word I'll use. What do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years. Well, I'm in medical school at the moment, so
Damn, awesome.
hopefully graduated. Well, maybe training to some specialty like um that I might want to get into.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, just a better human being.
Better human being. What got you into like wanting to be a doctor?
That I get this question a lot, man, and I think like when you pick it initially, like like this goes for everyone. Everyone's like really young when they pick it, right? Like you pick it when you're like what 18, 17-ish. And I think most people don't really know what they're getting themselves into. And I think that extends to everything in life. Like we make so many decisions super early in life, and there's a pressure to do that. Um, so I think I was good at my sciences and whatnot. I was an okay student, and um, I liked helping people and whatnot. So
Hmm.
those are the classic answers you hear. But I feel like now that I'm actually here, it's like it's molded me, and I've molded my thought of that career path. So it's kind of like a two-way street. Um, does that make sense?
Hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think are the challenges for you as a person in medical school?
Um, I think I'm good, very good with the people side of things, but the science studying side of things, man, I struggle. I really struggle. Um, I do. I leave everything to last minute, and I don't um I'm not very organized when it comes to studies, so that kind of bites me in the ass sometimes. Um, but I make up for it in other ways, you know.
Hmm. So, is this a thing you knew since you were a kid you wanted to do, or is it just like
Yeah, I mean, I had an idea um surrounding it, yeah, for sure. Um, maybe it wasn't like 100% certain, but I guess that's what sort of life wrote for me in the end.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Shelly, got anything?
Sure. Um, what are some things that you feel insecure about with your personality?
My personality? Okay. Um, I've been thinking about this a lot. I think to some people I try too hard, you know. Uh, I try, you know, to make jokes, really be outgoing and whatnot. Um, and I think it's kind of exhausting for me when I sort of leave that social situation. Uh, but I guess I'm liked for it, but I don't feel like I'm building that deep of a connection with that person in front of me. Um, like I've always been the floater friend who's like in between all the friend groups, but I wouldn't say I had like super close relationships with people growing up, even now. But like I don't mind if that's who I'm gonna be. Like, why change? You know,
Okay. What are some things that stress you out?
stress me out. I don't get stressed easily. Um, I have to think about this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get stressed easily. Even with like deadlines and maybe university work, I'm super chill. Like I would like I would have done no work throughout the whole year, and I'm the day before my exam, still no work, and I'd be the most chill person ever. You know, I'm like whatever, we'll deal with it tomorrow morning. You know what I mean?
Oh
so
man.
I don't think I get stressed easily, which is maybe a bad thing. Maybe I need it in my life.
Okay.
Okay. Like
What?
let me ask you one question.
Go
Like
on.
let's say for instance, medical school wasn't a thing.
Hmm.
What do you think you'd be doing?
Um. Hmm. That's a good question. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. Um, I think I've gotten a new hobby recently over the past like I say recently. It's been over the past like 4 or 5 years. I've been making writing songs, making music. There you
Mm. Mm-hmm.
go. So that's been fun. So maybe I can take that somewhere. That was the answer that kind of popped into my head, but it wasn't. I'm doing it as a side thing right
Mm-hmm.
at the moment rather than making it a job of mine. So I'm not really sure. That's an interesting question. I haven't thought about that.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Well. Shelly?
Um, yeah. Can you describe yourself as a kid?
Say that again.
Describe yourself as a kid.
As a kid, I was like the most hyper kid ever. Like I'd be running around, fucking climbing shit. Like my parents could not get a hold of me. Um, like even now they say it like, oh, you haven't changed much since you were a child and whatnot. I think I was a happy child. Um, I was I kind of from like behind that face, I did have some of my anxieties and my struggles as well with like making friends, like just building connections with people. I did kind of suffer from that, but I think I was um, I think I'm glad I had the childhood that I did.
What advice would you give yourself as a kid?
Advice, just to let go, you know, just don't care about thoughts of others or social anxiety or whatnot. Um, I wish I'd kind of learned that earlier than I did. Um, and I think that would have helped me definitely.
Okay. What do you think is something that people do that triggers you?
um, Let me think. Like I said, I don't get triggered very easily or angry or not. I kind of I accept people.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not sure.
What do you think you deal with that kind of makes you think twice about something?
Hmm. I'm trying to think if I'd say this.
Take it down.
we since moving here from to the UK, we came across some. We had bad experiences as a family. I moved with my family. We had a few bad experiences with people.
Mhm.
I think just I see I very much see the good side in people. And I think to like to like a flawed extent, in my opinion. So when someone um, kind of breaks that mold of the good side that I see in them or whatever, and they do something maybe that isn't so nice,
Mhm.
whatever that means. I think that kind of
Triggers you.
yeah, yeah, I'd say so.
Mm.
And I'm like,
That's your critic coming out.
Yeah, yeah, I think
So
yeah, I think
everyone has a critic function that
okay.
just comes out,
Hmm.
and it's usually like triggered by when somebody does something. So it
Yeah.
seems as though you get triggered when someone isn't per se being moral or ethical.
Mm. Okay.
One of the
Fair.
two. One of the
Yeah,
two. Yeah.
I'd say so.
Like yeah. Charlie, you got anything?
Sure. If you had three wishes, what would they be?
Three wishes. Hmm.
Mm.
Well, obviously, like you'd wish for like infinite money or whatnot, but I think even that wouldn't bring happiness necessarily. Um, so I think I'd wish that I just achieved my potential before I get super old. Um, that's that'll be one of the three. As for the other two, um, man, I'm looking at this strawberry in front of me, and I wish I could eat it. So I'm going to.
Good one.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you got your other two, man? Waiting.
No,
Oh, oh,
they escaped me. No, I don't know.
oh. Okay, okay.
How,
What do
how
you
do you know
think?
when somebody saying is true or false?
How do I know if what someone's saying is true or false? Um, hmm. I'm not sure. I think life is just very uh, subjective, you know, or at least that's my take from it. I think anyone could sort of back themselves with oh, studies have shown this or whatnot and say that, but or experiences they could be speaking from experiences. But even then, I think like it's just too subjective to know the full truth. Um, yeah, that's an interesting question. I think uh, if I experience something, I think it becomes more true to me. I see it, you know.
Okay. What do you want to be remembered for?
Hmm. I think spreading positivity, you know. Um, in the world. I think there's a lot of hatred and negativity. So if I can counterbalance that with something in the opposite direction, I think that would be a good thing to do.
Okay. What do you think is something you struggle with?
Something I struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
I like daily monotonous tasks and things. I struggle with that a lot, like I mentioned with studying. I don't think I'm I don't think I'm very organized. Um, my memory isn't the best, but I think things like gym has helped me. I've been going for like a couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
so that's really helped me kind of keep on track. And has bled into other aspects of my life, I'd say. So it's something I'm definitely getting better at, but I think it's always been a struggle for me.
What do you think is something that separates you from other people?
Hmm. I think my understanding of others. Um, I think other people, I see them and they're struggling to understand other individuals in front of them in a conversation or whatnot. But I think that's always something that's come easily to me. I understand how a person is feeling, what they're doing, what they're saying to me in the moment, what they're meaning by it. I can kind of read people well. Before this typology studies and whatnot, I've always been able to. Well, at least I think. Um, I kind of can read their intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. Shirley, anything?
What gives you a sense of purpose?
That's purpose. Gosh. Um, hmm. Yeah, I think it's similar to what I said before, like bringing joy to people. Um, if I can make if I can give someone a compliment or something and make them feel a little bit better, make their day a little bit better, it's a big win in my books. Um, and if I can extend that to whether it's my career or um, putting maybe some putting music out there that makes someone feel something, uh, I think that would be that for me. That's a important purpose.
Do
If
you ever feel?
money,
Oh,
oh, if
go
money
ahead,
was
Mark.
not an option, what would you do,
Yeah.
man? Like there was no money. Like what would you do with your life? Like money was no, you were a billionaire. What would you do?
Me, I really like writing songs, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think I'd just be a musician. Like I watched a video of like Tame Impala's house and on like the beach and whatnot. Um, and he has this huge studio, and the walls are all glass, and you can see out into the sea. That if I can get there in life, that's you know.
Mm-hmm. So $1 billion,
That,
that's what you're doing. You're just gonna
exactly,
write
man.
songs on the beach.
There you go. There you
Oh, yeah,
go.
nothing wrong with
um,
that. Go for it, Shelly.
Um, what makes you trust someone?
makes you trust someone.
Mhm.
Um, hmm. I mean, I've always been the kind of person that doesn't really get too close to someone to need their trust in the first place. Um, but um, I think it's just something that comes naturally to me. I can see people's intentions, so I can't really put it into words how I come about trusting someone. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess it's just their actions, things they say and whatnot. Yeah, like I said, I can't really think how to put it into words necessarily.
Um, what's something that freaks you out?
Freaks me out.
Yeah.
Um, uh, bro, I'll be honest, like fucking insects, man. Like those little critters. Uh, bro,
Insects.
bro. Yeah, man. Some of them are scary as fuck, man. Um, but no, maybe a more deep answer. Let me think. Um, hmm. Maybe like seeing the bad side in people. Um, especially when it's targeted towards me or people I love. Um, that kind of links back to the triggered question, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that would kind of go hand in hand, trigger me and freak me out. Um, yeah, I wouldn't really know how to act in that situation.
Do you do, do you feel that towards yourself as well?
In what way? What do you mean?
Do you feel like a inner source against yourself to be a better person?
Yeah,
That
absolutely. Yeah.
you can't be better or something? Is there, how does it go about for you? If you could explain in your own words.
As in like self-improvement, or what do you
Just when it comes to being a good person.
mean? Hmm. Yeah, I think there's bad qualities and good qualities with everyone, right, in life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just how much of those are expressed
Mm-hmm.
and in what way they're expressed and what impact that has on others around them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think for me, um, like no matter who I'm speaking to, if it's a stranger, if it's a closest friend, I don't change myself. Um, I just, stay true to who I am, and I think I've definitely learned to do that. I wasn't always like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned to do that, and I think that has made me a better person in turn,
Mm-hmm.
um, just automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Does that answer the question?
For sure. Um, uh, how do you go about learning something new?
um, I'm usually very much self-taught. Like I'd go out looking for um, sort of material or teaching resources or whatnot myself
Mm-hmm.
that fit my needs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like for example, with all the songwriting and music stuff, I started out on YouTube watching like basic tutorials, how to use the computer program and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Then I sort of progressed from there. Um, and yeah, that's with anything really. For example, another example would be um, in the gym. Like I do mostly body weight exercises. I don't use machines. So calisthenics kind of things. And
Mm-hmm.
I started out watching YouTube videos how to do like a proper pull-up technique or how to do a
Mm-hmm.
muscle up or front
Mm-hmm.
lever progression or whatever it may be. Um, so I've always been that kind of person that kind of goes out and goes out seeking for material rather than
Mm-hmm.
like doing it another way.
If you're okay, so if you're given a bunch of parts to something and told what it was, but weren't given instructions,
Okay.
how would you go about putting it together, or do you think you could?
Um, yeah, I mean, that reminds me, I loved puzzles as a kid, so it's kind of like that. Um, I think I just try and try again, you know, just trial and error, keep going at it. That's um that's always been my approach. I've gotten that reminds me I've gotten into indoor climbing recently. So you know indoor climbing like on
Mm-hmm.
the walls and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so it's kind of similar. Funny you ask because if you think about it, it's holes. You don't know what's going on, but you have to reach the top somehow, and there's no sort of rules on how to do it. Obviously, you have to. Obviously, there are, but there's no set way you have to follow. So in that vein, I just kind of try it a bunch of times myself until I reach the top, and if I can't, only then would I seek help from others or my friends or whatnot. But not until I've sort of exhausted all my energy on trying it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If you could create a new law and make everybody follow it, what would it be?
Oh. Let me think. Hmm. What sprung to my mind was like something to do with honesty, but um, I think there is a need for lies sometimes in life. Um, so I'm not sure how that law would run. Maybe something to do with honesty in some vein.
Honesty. Okay. Um,
What
hmm.
are three things people would say about you, or like?
These things.
Yeah.
Um. Hmm. I've always heard like weirdo, but like friendly weirdo, right?
That's really
uh,
good.
yeah. I've heard I always hear that from people. Um, so I guess that's what they would say. Most people think I'm like super outgoing and whatnot, and I try to be. Um, so yeah, I like that, and I think people would say that I don't care about what other people think. You know, I just do me. I just do me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think your type frequently gets called weirdo, but I think it's because you guys like act silly to make other people feel
Maybe,
comfortable.
maybe, maybe. Well, it depends which type you're talking about.
Yeah.
Shelly, we done? What do you
Yeah, I
think?
think so. Uh, I think we're done.
All right, man. So we wanted to make sure here. What we seen very early on is that you are very affiliative.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Better human being, deep connecting with the people.
Yep.
Okay. Um, counterbalance hatred and negativity, right? So it was easy to see that you're affiliative, man. Okay,
Yep.
so we got affiliative. Um, we also got progression. Even when you talked about early on, you said the videos got more and more detailed as you went. That was
Hmm.
progression. When you talked about your music, learning music, that was a progression thing that you went through there. And you said the same thing applies to the gym, also the trial and error mindset.
Yep.
So that was also progression. You don't care what other people think. TI inferior. And then I got you for your FI critic.
Mm.
I got you to show FI critic at that one point. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
So
Mm.
FI critic doesn't like when it sees immoral things.
Mm.
Mm.
Is that FI or FE?
FI
Mm. Okay.
immoral. So that causes you to kind of rage a little bit, you know.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, we got you for direct as well. So
Hmm.
direct, responding, progression, TIFE, and affiliative. You are an INFJ.
Okay.
What did you have yourself as?
Um, Shelly, do you agree? Let's hear Shelly first.
You know we text each other,
Um,
right?
yeah, I mean, the first thing that I heard from you sounded like it was coming from Effie. I mean,
Yeah.
And then also
it's
you also said like you get exhausted when you lead people, right? So that means
Yeah.
you're
Absolutely.
trying
Yeah.
to be extroverted, but that's just not fucking you.
No.
Yeah, it's like you try hard to be outgoing, but it's kind of exhausting.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. For the longest time, I always thought I was an ENFP. Like for the longest time.
So we were going through that.
Um,
We were looking at ENFP or INFJ. So we're really looking
well,
at
that's
that.
it. Yeah, that's the thing. Um, and then I got typed INFJ. Um, I think one of my very first sort of typing sessions was like, no way, I'm not an INFJ. So I stuck with the INFJ. I kind of like denied that. um,
Mhm.
and then the more and more I thought about it, I was like, hold on, damn, oh my God. And I started learning more. Maybe
Mhm.
I was just less sort of knowledgeable within the
Mhm.
field. So I started learning more. I was like, oh wait, hold on. Like I'm TIFE here. Hold on, I'm NISE, you know?
Mhm.
And then I started thinking more and more that I'm an INFJ. So now recently, only like a couple months, I've really been thinking that I'm an INFJ. I've gotten typed um I've gotten typed ENTP. I've gotten typed ENFP. I've
Mhm.
gotten typed INFP. I've gotten typed INFJ obviously. And I even gotten typed like a Wayfarer, like SFP, NTJ, kind of
Mhm.
quadra.
Mhm.
Which I don't know how they saw that. But yeah, no, I think I'm definitely affiliative. People think it's like the FE within the FE child from an ENTP, for example. Um, and that's recently what I've been sort of debating between in my head. Like, am I an
Mhm.
ENTP with just like super FE child or whatever?
Mhm.
Or am I actually affiliative, you know?
Mhm.
But I think I agree with you guys.
Yeah, because when we went for that critic there, that would have been a TE critic, not an FI
Mm-hmm.
critic.
Yeah.
And I really went for that critic to, usually because the critic just comes out and it slams people, right? It doesn't really play really, it doesn't really, if you watch the videos of breaking it
Yeah.
down, like it doesn't really tend to play games with people,
Mm.
right? Once it sees it, it goes, right?
Mm.
So if you can see where something that triggers somebody, like immediately, you can play with them. You can literally
Yeah.
play with them over and over and over. Like Kyle does it to me like all the time. He'll just play with my critic like all day long. And
How does any critic work?
so it's kind of like when I'm like looking, he will try to like suggest like stupid ideas. And
Yeah.
I just go like crazy, bro, like no, no,
Yeah, yeah, fair.
like that's not the way. Like
Yeah.
bro, don't even suggest that stupid shit. That shit's
Okay.
not even fucking possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Like get the fuck out of here with that shit. Like he'll
Yeah.
just like do it to just trigger me to like just go crazy. So he tries to like keep it on like a fiddle.
Fair.
But you can generally do that with people if you find the
Mm.
quick. So that's the reason why I asked you that question.
Yeah.
And usually with an INFJ, it's like they see somebody else doing something that
Hmm.
they deem not moral, and it
Yeah.
supercharges them.
Absolutely. 100%.
Supercharges them. And then it's like, damn. And like I swear, once they get into that mode, they become INFJs can become very scary. Can get very they get very, very scary, man.
Yeah.
Like they go
Yeah.
from this like very like chill person to like, oh, there ain't no chill no more, buddy.
I don't think I've ever reached that stage, and I hope people don't push me there.
Yeah.
Um, so maybe
Uh,
later in life, maybe that's written for me somewhere. I hope not.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's it's something. It's really, really,
Yeah.
really something because they're very understanding people.
Mm.
But who typed you other things? Just curious.
Just people from different Discord servers and
Mm.
communities,
Okay.
just typing me. I don't know the extent of their knowledge or whatnot in
Mhm.
the field.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know if you know Moderno.
I do know
I
him.
think he's the only one that typed me INFJ.
Oh, okay, dude.
Yeah.
He's one of my mods in Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
I think he's one of the only ones that got me as an INFJ.
yeah, so the thing about so like if you I don't know how long you've been watching my videos, but if you look at some of the core needs, they'll come
Mm.
out, right? They'll come out, the
Mm.
core needs will come out.
Hmm.
So like the NFs is about like self-actualization, higher purpose, uh empathy, building connections with people. That will just
Yep.
come out of them, right? Because that's a core need. It's very important to them. As in, like you will see with myself, mastery comes out a lot.
Mm. Hmm.
It comes out very much a lot.
Hmm.
Like I become like a different type of person. Like
Yeah.
Like I can be very chill, but like if I feel like I'm not mastering something or I'm not
Yeah.
getting good enough on a certain thing, then I become a bitch. Like
Yeah.
I'm just an
Exactly.
ass. Like but like it's just a core need of myself. Like even when I think I've mastered something or gotten pretty good and I don't feel like I've mastered it,
Mm-hmm.
like I have to keep going. Like there's just
Mm.
something just keeps pulling me and pulling me, you know. I feel like I'm like a
Yeah.
slave to it. So it's like but that's a core need and the core needs come out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
What
talk
are you
to people,
mastering in the moment?
me right now, well, typology is one thing.
Okay.
I just have an urge and people just it just keeps getting worse and worse, you know.
Fair.
Um, that's one thing. I am trying to master skee ball. Um,
Skee ball.
dating. Dating has always been a thing for me. It's always been a thing.
Riz.
Huh? Well, yeah, I
Riz.
mean, dating has always been a thing for me. I mean, me personally, I'll be honest, when I was younger, I fucking sucked at
Mm.
that shit. But
Yeah.
that was something that like I was like, I'm gonna fucking master this shit. But the
Yeah.
biggest thing for myself is mastering myself,
Mm-hmm.
right? That
Yeah.
is something I
Yeah.
told myself when I was a kid. It was Moderna. He's one of the mods, Shelly. Um, that was something I told myself as a kid. I told myself that if I mastered myself, then I'd be able to get any and everything I want out of the world.
Yep.
So I've always been on a path to master myself, which is myself. I mean,
Yeah.
so it kind of
Yeah.
like translate to almost every other thing I do, um, no matter
Yeah.
what. It's weird. It's like a
Yeah.
slave thing,
And
but like
I think
that's the
that
core
that
need.
sentiment I think that sentiment should be shared with everybody. I think everybody needs to hear that. If anyone can master themselves, then they can do anything outwardly. But it first starts here before it goes out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just something I told myself when I was like maybe 5, 6 years old. It's like
Yeah.
we need to master ourselves. If we can master ourselves, then we can get anything we want in this world.
Mm.
Uh, but that's harder said than done.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, when
100%.
it comes to like books and shit, like I'm at least reading at least 2 to 3 books a month.
Yeah.
Always motivates me. But now it's starting to blend into like all books seem the same.
Mm.
Like when you've
Right.
read so many books, it's like they
Yeah.
start to blend in and see the same. So you kind
Yeah.
of venture out into different genres.
Mm.
Because like once you start reading enough on, let's say, self improvement, like you
Yeah.
start Robert Greene and then you try Malcolm Gladwell, then you try
Yeah.
Ryan Holiday, like all these books start blending into the same. Be like, okay, now I got to go into finance.
Mm.
Right? And then you start reading Intelligent Investor and A Walk Down Wall Street and things like that. And then you keep reading more and more books and they start blending in all the same. You're like, damn, I can't read any more of that genre.
Is it the points that are blending in, or is it your takes from those books that's blending in? What do you mean by blending in?
Mm, when I'm saying blending in, I feel like there's no new information,
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right.
right? There's no new
Yeah.
information. Like at to a certain point, like it's kind of like the same thing regurgitated, right?
Yeah. 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 Okay.
So then it's like, oh shit, I got to go into another field. So then I'll go in communications. And you read like
Mm-hmm.
6, 7 books
Yep.
of communication, then all of everything else outside of that starts blending into the same thing. You know, you
Yeah.
found like the core of that.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm at, man. I don't know. It's a weird
Fair.
thing.
Yeah.
Um, but you can usually see it as well. Like NFs are very good with diplomatic intelligence, you
Mm.
know, building connections with people, building bridges to people. You know, this is what they're good at. I mean, it is what they're good
Yeah.
at. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
so I mean, you being a doctor really does play well into being an
Yeah. I
INFJ.
hope. I hope.
Um, so,
Just need to hone my SI demon, man.
huh?
Just need to hone my SI demon, you know?
Well, I think you could do that by just realizing you need to do the small things to be
Mm.
successful. That's the most important thing is you gotta, it's not about honing, it's about bringing it together, right? Because your mind generally thinks that you just care so much about the future that like you
Yeah.
don't really need to take care of the past, but you actually do need to bring both of them together to be able to maximize it and actually perform the best,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
That's by doing the small things. So tell your mind that like I have to do the small things if I want the future that I want for
Yeah.
myself and for the world. So
Yeah.
it goes into the small things.
Yeah. And those small things add up don't they?
Yeah, they'll
To
add
make
up.
the
But
to make the big
that's
thing.
the SI, like the small
Yep.
details, the past, like that's very
Yep.
important. You got to put those two together, and then you'll be able to perform amazingly. You know, your
Mm-hmm.
SE will just be on fire, but that's
Yeah.
because you're taking care of NI and SI, building them
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's kind of what I see in celebrities, right?
Mm.
They got those two working together in the same camp. Instead of
Yeah.
most people will say, oh, you know, I care about the future, so fuck the past, you know, or fuck the
Mm.
small details. And it's like, you're never going to get the future you want unless you're willing to do the small details.
Yeah.
Doing the
Yeah. Yeah.
small, annoying work that nobody wants to do, that the SI users would do, you got to be willing to do that yourself. And if you're
Yeah.
not, most likely you're not going to get what you want.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing I could say.
Interesting.
Uh,
Yeah, because that's I feel like my struggle. Sorry, if I'm taking your
oh
time,
no,
by the
no,
way.
you're good, man. You're good.
No, that's where I think my belief of my ENFP typing kind of stemmed from was my relation to SI,
Mm-hmm.
and even like the rest of the functions like FI and NE for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I think now that I've studied more, I think I like differentiated the definitions between maybe NI and NE, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so then I started relating more to INFJ. But yeah, I think ENFP was I was definitely between those two types, and
Well,
they're in the same sort of
yeah, yeah.
um
Well, I
what do you
think
call it?
one of the big things is that your type will not accept its type until it understands it for themselves. Ti
Yeah.
Child is so fucking annoying because I see it as a 1998 MacBook computer, right? It takes so long for them to process that,
Yeah, yeah,
like it makes
true.
sense to them. Like it's a 1998 fucking MacBook fucking computer.
Literally.
And we're like, damn, dude, like speed that processor the fuck up, you know? But I
Literally, man.
mean, it has to make sense to them,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. No,
So it takes a
I
while for it to like sleep in.
100% agree. Yeah, and for me, it's what took like just like over a year now.
Yeah.
So
Some types I just know I'm just like, good luck. But like I
do
said,
people?
we're
Yeah,
very systematic with our approach to things. Like it's very
yeah,
systematic. It's either you either meet the criteria, or you fucking don't, you know.
yeah.
And generally between me and Shelly, we don't really miss much.
Mm,
But
yeah. No, Shelly's really good, I must say.
mhm.
When I've been watching some of the videos, like the questions she comes up with on the spot, um, just to figure out that tiny difference between like a critic function or a parent or like TE versus TI or whatnot.
Mhm.
She's really good at that. So don't
Yeah, I
lose her,
think
Mercer.
yeah, I think I think when it comes to the parent function, people really don't understand how the parent function works.
Mm, in what
The
way?
parent function wants to parent others, right? It's kind of,
Mm,
I'd see it as a controlling function, right?
okay.
So it wants to parent other people and doesn't believe that other people can do the job right.
Yeah.
So you have FE parent. So you try
Mm,
to parent other people with FE, right? Even if they, you know, feel like they could do it themselves, you still feel as though like, hey, I got to parent this person. I got to parent this person. So people can,
what if you have an introverted parent function?
so you would try to parent people on morals. Like if you see ENFPs, they're all trying to parent people on fucking morals, on how to be like a moral person or being
Okay.
authentic to themselves. I'm like, goddamn, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah.
But that's the parent function. It's kind of very controlling. Doesn't believe
Yeah.
that you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
It's kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like a parent. That's why the archetype from John Beebe is the parent. Um,
Mm.
so
What about sorry, I the question was wrong that I asked. What about like a introverted perception function like yourself?
so and I parent. So it wants to parent other people's future the way it sees for them.
Right, okay.
So it can
Yeah.
be very fucking controlling.
Yeah.
Like for instance, I'll take ENTJ that I've typed LeVar Ball. He has decided his children's future, and
Yeah.
I parent. He doesn't
Yeah.
believe that they can decide their future for themselves.
Yeah, fair.
See, like it won't even like, feels his need that they can't grow up and be themselves.
Yeah,
Very kind of obnoxious sometimes. So
fair.
I think a lot of people actually get that wrong in the community. The parent
Mm.
functions feel as though motherfuckers can't grow up. and
Yeah.
it's all, and over time it learns that people are capable of doing things themselves,
Yeah.
and you don't have to like step in.
Learns to let go kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Like a
Yeah.
parent would. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
But
Interesting.
yeah, we did a breakdown of all of the 8 functions by John Beebe. It's in our playlist.
Sure. Yeah, I'll
But you
give it
can
a
check it
watch.
out, man. It's
Of course, of
pretty
course.
helpful. Pretty helpful.
Absolutely.
But you got any questions? Cause anything?
Um, no, I don't think so. I think
And
thank you
your
very much.
name, you know Moderna pretty well, right?
I'm in a server, Woodland Mind. I don't know if you know Woodland Mind.
Oh, William Mines. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in there because we're partnered with them, but I don't really check much over there. I'm
Yeah,
kind of like
no.
only in my server, MongolianMindset.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm pretty active on Woodland Mine and some other servers as well. So
Okay.
that's where he typed me.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I'll tell him he typed you right, man. I'll tell him. We'll be happy to see that.
yeah, man. Yeah, I disagreed with him for the longest time, for months. Um, until I was like, damn, he might have been right. I think
Yeah.
I think he has good intuition.
Yeah. I mean, he's
Yeah,
INFJ too.
yeah.
Well, all right, brother. Take it easy, man. To see you in
Thank
the
you.
community,
Pleasure to
man.
meet you, and thank Shelly for me as well when she comes back.
All right.
Cheers. Bye.